mental health in youth, mental health with our Black boys. And it's an important narrative that we don't see on television a lot. And being able to take that time and with that Carlton character and have an honest journey with him this season that feels like we're really giving that storyline justice.
Carla, first of all, I absolutely love this show. It is tremendous. What you guys did in season 1 was excellent, and it just carries over to season 2. I love that you guys really took the heart of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but really made Bel-Air your own. You do a great job of capturing that spirit. Can you talk to me? You're welcome. Can you talk to me about exploring other sides of Will this season as he explores LA outside of Bel-Air?
Yes, knowing where we ended Will last season, which is sort of in a fractured place with the family, maybe realizing that he jumped into the Bel-Air world a little too fast. We really wanted to sort of come back this season and have him take a beat and think about, okay, I'm here, but how can I hold on to a little bit of that West Philly version of myself and not completely just give over to the world of Bel-Air. And part of that is spending a little more time in South LA and gravitating to some of the people that he's meeting over there, because that feels more like home.
Absolutely.
So that seemed like a good way to sort of tell that story.
Now, Will finds new focus with basketball and his future. And he kind of meets a new mentor this season, Doc, who makes Uncle Phil a little nervous. Can you talk about Will's mentorship with Doc this season?
Yes, Doc played fabulously by Brooklyn McLean, is a new character for us this season. And knowing, again, where Will ended in that place, particularly with Uncle Phil last season. After Uncle Phil, he had sort of leaned into that relationship with Uncle Phil and just sort of said, you're my dude. I don't need Lou because I've got you. And then finding out at the end of the season, like, I don't even know if you were the right dude. And so really wanting him to come back season 2 and like, oh, who's my guy? And I don't think he realizes that he is still searching for that father figure. But when he meets Doc, he sort of feels like home to him. He feels like some of the West Philly guys that he knows. He feels like an older version of himself. And Doc sees a younger version of himself in Will. So there's a connection there. And he's very different than Uncle Phil. And I think that's what concerns Phil, because he knows Will is in a different headspace. And now this guy's in his life. And I need to have that influence over Will right now, not somebody like Doc. And so I think that's where the push-pull with Will caught in between these two very different father figures is a big storyline in season 2.
Ali does a tremendous job as Carlton this season, and I'm really happy that we dive into his anxiety a little bit. Can you talk to me about why that's important to show him having the anxiety on this season?
Ali really wanted to take some time with this story too. We touched on it last season with Carlton talking a little bit about his panic attacks and his anxiety, but he was obviously self-soothing with some of the drugs and things like that, and really wanting to come back this season and not just wash our hands of that story, like really wanting to take time to talk about mental health in youth, mental health with our Black boys. And it's an important narrative that we don't see on television a lot, and being able to take that time and with that Carlton character and have an honest journey with him this season that feels like we're really giving that storyline justice.
Now, I have to ask, Tatyana Ali is in this season as well. And I love the fact that it's a character that's impactful. And it makes sense to the storyline, which is brilliant. Can you talk to me about her playing Miss Hughes, and how that character impacts somewhat of season 2?
We were talking about that storyline in the writer's room and knowing that there was this teacher that was important to Ashley. And so when it came up that Tatyana Ali, from the original series could play that character, it just felt perfect. Knowing that there was history with this teacher, with the entire Banks family, that Hillary would have had her as a teacher, Carlton had her as a teacher, and now Ashley, and that this is a very important teacher, one of the few Black teachers at Bel-Air Academy. So it really felt like Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, everybody in the family could rally around Miss Hughes. Like she's important to us. And if she's having a problem, then we all got a problem. And like if anybody's going to fix it, the Banks family is going to fix it. So it just felt like the perfect storyline for Tatyana, and seeing OG Ashley with Ashley fist bumping in that scene, it just felt perfectly right.
Yeah, it was like a beautiful passing of the torch. Last question I have for you is one of my favorite characters, Jeffrey. Jimmy's phenomenal this season, and we get a little bit of a glimpse into Jeffrey's backstory a little bit. Can you talk to me about how that's explored in season 2 and his relationship with Phil this season?
Talk about fractured. He also left, Jeffrey left the Banks household also in a fractured place with that brotherhood with him and Uncle Phil. And so we definitely want to take some time at the beginning of the season to sort of, how do they heal that? Because they are brothers, but there was a betrayal there. And to understand a little bit about why Jeffrey did what he did. Right. And we'll find out. Everybody wants to know more about Jeffrey because he is our man of mystery. And so we will connect those storylines, and you'll kind of understand Jeffrey a little bit more as we discover a little bit about who he is.
Carla, phenomenal job so far on season 2. I love season 1. So thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So great to meet you.
You too. Take care.